Welcome to Tech Talk Central. I'm Nathan.
And I'm Sarah.
We are doing a deep dive today on something that seems super simple. We're comparing two USB hubs.
Right. But this comparison actually reveals a really critical flaw that most people don't even realize is a problem in their setup.
Exactly. So we're looking at the Acer USB Hub 4 ports, that's the #1 bestseller, and the Anker USB Hub 4 ports, which is, I think, #3.
Yep. And our goal here is to give you a shortcut, basically, to understanding the one huge technical difference that, determines which one you should actually buy.
We're going to help you figure out which one is the right match for your desk, maybe your travel bag, and we'll be looking at performance, power stability, and surprisingly, even sustainability.
Okay, let's just jump right in and unpack this. Both of these hubs they're excellent, but they take a fundamentally different approach to power management.
And that's the key.
That is the key. And we're going to show you why that one little difference could be the thing that saves you from a corrupted file transfer.
All right, so let's start with the easy stuff. What do they have in common? Because on paper, the core performance looks identical.
It really is. You plug either of these into one USB-A port on your computer, and boom, you get 4 extra ports. Simple as that.
And speed is the same on both.
Exactly. They both offer super speed data transfer, up to 5 Gbps. Our sources all confirm that's fast enough to move an HD movie in just a few seconds. So speed is not the issue here at all.
Okay, and physically, they're almost like twins, right? They both seem designed for portability.
Yeah, both the Acer and the Anker have that built-in 2-foot USB-A cable, and they're both designed to be really slim, really lightweight.
It's kind of amazing when you think about it. These tiny little hubs, the size of a flash drive, handling 5 gigabits per second.
And the compatibility is just universal. That's a big win. They support all the major players: Windows, Mac OS, Chrome OS, Linux, and you can even use them to expand ports on gaming console.
Like a PS5 or an Xbox?
Yep, PS4, PS5, Xbox, no problem.
Okay, so let's get into some of the minor details before we hit the main event. Anker seems to really look at its durability.
They do. They use phrases like extra tough, and they talk about it being precision design for heat resistance.
Right.
It's all about the build quality for them.
And Acer.
Acer focuses a little more on the functional design. It has these little anti-slip grips, a handy indicator light, and they talk about its high-quality housing for heat dissipation.
Okay.
And what's crucial, I think, is that the Acer uses an advanced internal chip, sort of like the hub's brain, that's built to regulate data flow. And that kind of hints at where its advantage comes in later.
Right. So speed is the same, size is the same. Let's pivot to what you said was the most critical piece, power management. This is the real difference maker.
This is where it gets really interesting. The Anker hub is great because it's so simple. It's just plug and play. But it has this very strict inherent limitation that pretty much all unpowered USB hubs show.
And what's that?
It is strictly a data hub. The packaging explicitly says charging not supported.
Okay, and why could that be a technical disaster waiting to happen for some people?
Because every single USB port on your computer, whether it's a laptop or a desktop, it only provides a fixed amount of electrical current.
Right.
It provides 900 milliamps, or mA. And that 900 mA has to power all 4 of the hub's ports combined.
Wait. So if I connect 4 devices, they all have to share that tiny amount of power.
Precisely. If the total power draw from everything you plug in goes over 900 milliang, the hub can just disconnect. Or even worse, it could corrupt your data right in the middle of a transfer.
So a single USB port is limiting all 4 downstream ports to less power than, say, one external SSD might need.
Why would anyone even use an unpowered hub then?
That is the essential question. You have to know what you're using it for. Let's take a standard external hard drive. It consumes 900 mA all by itself.
The entire budget.
The entire budget. You plug that one drive into the Anker, and you literally can't plug in anything else that draws any real power without risking a failure.
So things like a mouse or a keyboard are okay. Yeah, a mouse is about 100 mA. A flash drive is also about 100 mA. Those are fine. But any heavy lifting is just out of bounds for the Anker.
Okay, so the Anker is the winner for simplicity. It's for expanding ports for low power stuff, like a keyboard, mouse, a printer. But if I want to run that hard drive, how does the Acer solve that problem?
So the Acer solution requires one extra step, but what it gives you is reliability. It includes a dedicated USB Type-C power port. It's clearly labeled in5V.
But that means I might have to carry another cable, another power brick. That sounds kind of inconvenient.
It absolutely can be an inconvenience, yes. But that extra cord is basically your insurance policy for data integrity. The trade-off is for stability.
So this USB-C port, I can't use it for data
Hmm.
or to charge my phone.
Nope. And that's a key detail. Its one and only job is to supply external 5V power to the hub's 4 USB-A ports.
I see. So when you plug in that external power, you completely bypass your computer's 900 mAh limit.
Exactly. And that gives you rock-solid stability, especially for those big file transfers or for high-power devices like some professional cameras.
So the bottom line is, if you're serious about connecting an external hard drive or anything that draws real power, that optional 5V input on the Acer is basically essential.
It's vital. The Anker gives you pure simplicity. The Acer gives you power stability for heavier workloads, even if it means, managing an extra cable sometimes.
All right, let's move beyond pure function for a second and talk about build and global impact. Because both brands talk about quality, but they focus on really different sustainability angles, which I found fascinating.
Yeah, this is where you can really see two different corporate philosophies. Let's start with Acer, the bestseller.
Right.
They focus heavily on materials and their carbon footprint.
What's their specific environmental claim?
They're certified by the Recycled Claims Standard 100, or RCS 100.
Okay, what does that mean?
It guarantees the hub contains at least 95% recycled material, and that's not just a claim. It's been independently verified all through the supply chain. It's a huge commitment.
That is impressive. And they're also Climate Partner certified. That sounds pretty comprehensive.
It is. Being Climate Partner certified means the carbon emissions from the product's entire life cycle, manufacturing, shipping, everything were measured, they were reduced where possible, and then the rest were offset.
So they're addressing the whole carbon footprint. How does Anker's approach compare?
Anker takes more of a process-based approach. They focus on what goes into the product and how it's made. They're certified by Ecologo.
Ecologo.
Yeah, and that certification looks at two things. Safer chemicals, so making sure the materials aren't hazardous, and better manufacturing practices that reduce the risk of negative environmental impact during production.
So it's kind of recycled materials and carbon offsetting from Acer versus safer chemicals and cleaner manufacturing from Anker.
That's a perfect way to put it. You're choosing between prioritizing the material's origin or the manufacturing process itself.
And what about just general reliability warranties?
Well, both are described as having very low return rates, which is great. It speaks to their overall quality. Anker does sweeten the deal a little bit with an 18-month warranty.
Okay, so let's synthesize all this. What does this mean for you, the listener, trying to make a final decision? Let's make this choice crystal clear.
We can break it down pretty easily. You should choose the Anker if you care most about simplicity and portability. If all you need is more ports for low-power things, a mouse, a keyboard, flash drives, the Anker is the simple plug-and-play choice.
And you get their focus on safer manufacturing.
Right. But you should choose the Acer if you plan to connect any power-hungry devices, especially external hard drives, on a regular basis.
That optional 5V power input isn't just a feature, it's a stability requirement for serious work.
Exactly. And with the Acer, you also get the guarantee of certified recycled materials and a verified carbon offset.
So if we tie this all together, the real insight here isn't even about Acer versus Anker. It's about understanding that 900 milliamp limit.
That's the whole game. Knowing about that current limitation on unpowered hubs is the key. And that knowledge forces the Acer's design, with that optional 5V port, to be the superior, more reliable choice for any kind of heavy workload.
That wraps up our deep dive into these two top USB hubs. Hopefully, we've given you the knowledge you need to choose the right, reliable extender for your specific setup.
It's all about knowing your use case.
To find the latest prices and deals for both the Acer and the Anker hubs, be sure to check out the links in the description below. And if you found this comparison useful, please subscribe to our channel for more detailed tech analyses. We appreciate you watching or listening.